Hello everyone, I am Nadeshiko Gatsby, the Wisteria Witch, and today we'll be talking about NekoCon 1998. NekoCon 1998 took place in Virginia Beach, Virginia on October 2nd to the 4th, 1998. So basically, if you're brand new to Fansview Fridays, this is where we take a look at Kevin Lillard's old convention reports from the late 90s and 2000s. For those of you who don't know, Kevin Lillard was very much a pioneer of convention coverage, cosplay photography, and so forth. I wanted to do Fansview Fridays because his original website, fansview.com, got taken off the internet a while back, and I really feel we have a lot of nuggets of fandom history that are in his Fansview reports. While yes, you could find the cosplay photos on websites like American Cosplay Paradise, however, I really also feel that we need to also preserve a lot of the memories and a lot of the stories that were told at these conventions. So without further ado, let's start out on Fansview Fridays. Okay, so let's start out with NekoCon here. All right, so the inaugural NekoCon brought an anime convention back to the Tidewater region of Virginia. Here's what they wore at NekoCon. So here's just some picture highlights. Looks like he has a shorter convention report for NekoCon. I guess we can find out why when we go into Kevin's final thoughts section. We'll start with a look at the first people to arrive at the first NekoCon. All right, so looks like 98 was like the first ever NekoCon. Okay, we're looking at some history here. Okay. Thomas Cardwell, known for his cross-dressing shampoo, also is rarely seen without his laptop PC, which he put to use to registering people for the inaugural NekoCon. Cardwell was one of the dozens of people who were determined to bring an anime convention back to Virginia Beach after Katsucon moved to the Washington, D.C. area. Okay, this guy is making a gesture here at the pool. The first guest spot at NekoCon was Tristan McAvery, voice actor and director for ADV Films, who took a weekend off from a new dubbing project. He quickly found a hotel pool and managed to stay dry, unlike other con guests at other events. David Williams and Matt Greenfield of ADV arrived at the convention later in the day. Proudly wearing her Hello Kitty shirt, Ellen Winkler of Radio Comics greeted the early arrivals at the new con, while her Radio Comics partner, Pat Duke, lugged merchandise into the hotel. Kind of gotta love some of these candid shots that Kevin Lillard took. And in the chat, Professor Ramses has arrived. Welcome to 1998, Professor Ramses. Toshifumi Yoshida of Viz Communications rarely misses an anime convention, usually to do his imitation of Hong Kong action movie star Chow Yun-fat. I can't unsee it. However, this time Yoshida had something special. One of the rare Nintendo Pocket Pikachu virtual pets, not yet released in the US. With this toy, the more you walk, the more electricity you generate to feed electronic mouse from Pocket Monsters. I love how this report still calls it Pocket Monsters. And I just love, just get your steps in here, Yoshida. A basketball-sized Pikachu was on hand at the registration desk to meet early arrivals, while a few feet away from his cousins in several sizes were being readied for sale in the dealer room. NekoCon attendees seemed to have a hard time being patient enough for the room to open so they could spend all their money on the first day. Kate Robarts, former comic editor and constant cosplayer, promised to bring back the Daikon costume for the Saturday Night Masquerade, but who was slipping into the picture to Robarts' left? It's Megan and Heather, fresh from the Catgirl Triumph at Otakon, ready to dazzle convention goers with a fresh supply of costumes, and maybe some of their older ones. The sword looked like it came from their Momino Hunter Yoko costumes of a couple years back. This guy was a great cosplay MC at Katsucon when he dressed up as Lupin III. His face was a perfect match for the angular anime character, so why was he wearing a white yukata instead of loop on the jacket? It turned out he was saving the jacket for the karaoke contest. A group of people surrounded this gentleman in the hall, complimenting him on his costume and trying to guess what character he was playing. "It's not a costume," he replied. "I always dress this way. I'm from New York." Among those early arrivals were the inhabitants of the Artist Alley. The Artist Alley is a convention tradition. Those people who make a few dollars from their drawings want to move to the next level of success, gather the tables to set up in the convention halls to greet friends, show their work, and make a couple of dollars from the fans' commissions. Mark Mandolia has done double duty for East Coast anime conventions. He created a Neko World Order design for NekoCon and drew new mascots for Katsucon 5, the first U.S. anime convention of 1999. Mandiola's tables serve as an unofficial headquarters at NekoCon, with a stack of flyers urging fans to attend the event in Arlington, Virginia. Okay, as a member of Cosplay Wrestling Federation, we need to make Neko World Order a thing again. You know what? I'm literally gonna message Cosplay Wrestling Federation right now and tell them we need to make Neko World Order a thing. Okay, I'll do that right now. Okay, we need to make Neko World Order a thing. Okay, I just messaged them without any context. See what they have to say. Thorwaldsen was creating art and sketches for NekoCon fans. Ironically, he was surrounded by a display of Fred Perry art. Hometown hero Perry missed his first day of NekoCon but was expected to arrive on the second day. James Dawsey was promoting his upcoming self-published Shadow Chaser comic due out in a few weeks. He made t-shirts with the cover design and was selling them at his table. Susan Meyer had the biggest collection of catgirl art on Artist Alley because she likes drawing cute females with big ears, and because the convention is, of course, named after cats. Check out this page's Otakon cosplay pictures, and you'll see Meyer dress up as Ayeka from Tenchi Muyo. I do like how this report also covers like individual artists. Oh, I know this guy. I was at his wedding. For Robert DeJesus, whose covers have appeared on video games and most of the Arctic Press and Radio Comics line, again found his way out of Crown Point, Indiana, to attend another anime convention. Okay, and here in the comments, we have, who would be the outsiders? Who is the third man? Okay, an amazing group of Tenchi Muyo cosplayers were among those costume who brightened NekoCon's halls on Friday. Oh, hey, we got some amazing... Oh, I just love the wig work here. Like, this is really impressive, especially for the time period, because, yeah, if you've seen Tenchi Muyo, you know those characters got some crazy hair going on. Okay, we got some Final Fantasy VI. Terry. I'm assuming both of those are from Lodos, having been together. We got Larva, Hikaru, Duo from Gundam. I want to say I know what the costume is on the right, but I'm not sure. Someone selling awesome t-shirts. Saber Marionette over there. Just scrolling through. Oh, that's a cute little cosplayer. Another one from Fatal Fury. Oh, I love that Nadia cosplay. That is amazing. Crazy Dragon Ball hair. Love that. Looks like someone rated the buffet. I would also be rating the buffet too. Oh, we got the crew and Nadeshiko right here. Nice. NekoCon's opening ceremony saw a group of familiar AnimeCon personalities gather on Friday afternoon. All right, before we go ahead for opening ceremonies, Terry Media is running wild. After starting Katsucon, Larry Drews promised himself he'd never run an anime convention. Never say never again. My boy, that is a mood. Hello, Tales from the Fandom. Thank you so much for showing up. Tonight we're talking about NekoCon 1998. Glad you could be here. And definitely, y'all should be following Tales from the Fandom. They run an amazing podcast where they interview cosplayers, fandom personalities. It's very much how Kevin Lillard used to have anime convention personality of the week. So definitely check them out. On Friday, Drews was on NekoCon's main stage playing the role of chairman for the new event. At the opening ceremony, he said it felt like everyone was home again. Katsucon's move away from Virginia Beach was too much for some fans to bear, so they pooled their resources and started NekoCon to bring a con back to the Tidewater. Wow, that's a very interesting origin story. They missed Katsucon so much that they had to bring back a convention in their neck of the woods. The new con had a Japanese guest of honor from at the opening ceremony. Hiroyuki Kitsuzume, creator of the Moldiver anime and veteran of the Mobile Suit Gundam series, was cheered by the people at the ceremony. NekoCon nearly pulled all major coup when Hiroki Hayashi, director of the new Bubblegum Crisis television series, agreed to attend. However, production pressures forced Hayashi to cancel his appearance 6 weeks before the convention. It's one of my Thursday night buddies. Jan Scott Fraser, artist and interpreter who has worked for Japanese anime production houses, translated for the Japanese guests. Since leaving Studio IG, Fraser has become a regular on the American convention circuit, and she created NekoCon's Catgirl mascot. Colleen Doran, with darker hair than at Katsucon, returned to the anime convention world at NekoCon as one of the new convention's guests of honor. Her fantasy comics draw on anime styles, but they still have a unique look to Doran. Michael Brady, Crusher Joe's voice actor, stopped shopping in the dealer room long enough to attend the opening ceremony. Brady is on a constant mission to find every Crusher Joe souvenir on Earth, and he drew slightly closer to meeting his goal on Friday. Chad and Brad Dietrichs are infamous for their intense fandom and wild parties at conventions. They were rewarded by being named NekoCon Guests of Honor. When Chad was asked who made the Shinji Ikari plug suit he wears at conventions, Brad piped up and answered, his mother. Alright, everyone's favorite on this stream, especially Professor Ramsey's, Steve Bennett. Artist and Studio Arncat executive is a Civil War buff who has died in many reenactments of battles. He looked at home in a region that was near many of these historic battlefields. Wearing the cap honoring the war between states, Bennett was the final guest of honor to be introduced. Seconds after that introduction, Bennett was dead again. Someone had shot him when the lights dimmed during the ceremony. But who? NekoCon turned a gag into a murder mystery contest at the convention with a prize for the fan who correctly picked the murder suspect. Okay, when I'm putting this online, I'm naming NekoCon Who Shot Steve Bennett, just kind of like a Dallas, Who Shot JR thing. Of course, that's an old reference for you younger people listening out there. What is Dallas? Other than a city in Texas. It was all a dream. I guess for us millennials, we're more familiar with the parody from The Simpsons, Who Shot Mr. Burns? Because that what sticks with me, pop culture-wise. Alright, these Neon Genesis Evangelion costumers were among the cosplay highlights on Saturday at NekoCon. Yeah, this when I've titled this on YouTube, this is going to be called Who Shot Steve Bennett? Neko-kan, Saturday cosplayers. Let's just take a look at just some of these old um, cosplay photos and what fandom was like back then. Okay, I know, I think this gal right here, because based on the kimono, based on the short brown hair and the headpiece, it looks like she is cosplaying as the mother from Child's Toy. That's one of my favorite, like, old school anime titles. Always gives me good feels. It sparks joy. Okay, scrolling down. This guy with cabot ears. Scrolling down here. Oh, we have Tyler. I love Irresponsible Captain Tyler. Scrolling down. Looks like we have that Goku again. We got Kaji and Asuka. We got Rei and Gendo. We have a Lum cosplayer over there. We have a Sailor Mars. It's also very interesting to see like what the backgrounds were like back then. Just what the environments looked like back then. Yeah, that Goku was everywhere. Then came the costume contest. Here's a look at half of the contestants from Saturday night. I don't know the guy with the rifle. Okay, let's just look at just some of these costumes right here. Okay, again we have Cabot guy with gun. I want to know what Cabot guy with gun is from. Scrolling down, looks like we got some Fatal Fury. Okay, the guy in this cloak here, I want to say he's from Resident Evil 4, but this is 1998 because he's really giving me like, what are you buying, what are you selling vibes. Wait, the guy in the top right makes me think he's Leon from Bubblegum Crisis 2040. Oh, it is Vampire Hunter D. You're right. I'm like, I was just kind of like just thinking like the merchant dude from Resident Evil 4. Scrolling down here. Looks like we got the Daikon mascot, like is the host over here. I actually thought about cosplaying as a Daikon mascot. Just scrolling through. Yeah, it really is Terry Mania here at Neko-con. Trying to figure out what's going on in some of these photos. We've got some Darkstalkers and we got Tenchi. Followed by the images of the rest of the costume participants. It's not over yet. Okay, looks like we got, oh yeah, I feel like a late 90s anime convention isn't complete without a Vishugi Yugi costume, especially a Suzaku no Miko. Yeah, it's Gendo. No, it's Kaji, it's Kaji. Looks like we got like some Evangelion fun times all around. Evangelion, no one ever has fun. Okay. Scrolling through here. Looks like we got the giant robo. Wow. It's been ages since I've seen giant robo cosplay. Get in the cosplay contest, Shinji. Love it. Okay, we got some Urusei Yatsura. Got Duo Maxwell from Gundam Wing. everyone dies cruel ways or end of Evangelion, you turn into a liquid goop while being happy and such. Kenny, speaking of people getting killed like Steve Bennett, I don't know what this guy is from right here, but he's just really giving like, no, the pose right here. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. We're going to take a quick break. I need to check up on something. Never mind, that was a false error. All right. Let's see more photos from NekoCon 1998. Looks like it's time for us to judge who's the best of the best here. The judges' deliberations produce a happy group of winners, including a repeat of Best in Show from a previous inaugural convention. All right, let's take a look. Oh no, do we have photos yet? Okay, looks like the Vampire Hunter D did win Best of Show. Also won Best of Show at 1998 Anime Central. Usually this kind of like re-entering your costume if you've won previous Best of Show is frowned upon these days, but I guess there weren't like a lot of rules against that because again, a lot of this was still brand new and we were still trying to figure things out because remember back then, this was like anime cons were like the Wild West. We were still kind of trying to figure things out because we were like such a niche market, and a lot of times we were making it up as it goes. Best presentation, best craftsmanship, best recreation, the Kate Roberts Award, Colleen Duran's Award, Jeff Thompson's Award, Brad Dietrich's Award, Pablo Fraga's Award. It's all these guests of honor like giving out all their awards to their favorites. I remember when like guests used to like give awards to their favorites. Steve Pearl's Award, Best Novice Award. Oh, that's a cute Yuffie. Best Junior Cosplayer Award went to that tiny Goku. Anime Pavilion Award looks like it. Why is Kaoru and Kaji? I am not gonna ask. All right, let's go to the second part of the report. And here's what they said. So let's go into my favorite part of doing Fansview Fridays. Let's panel hop. Yes, Rams, Anime Pavilion, the website. Who remembers Anime Pavilion? That was like our go-to for like, you know, finding anime stuff. Well, one of the main go-tos for getting anime stuff. All right. Why do cute anime girls have blue and green hair? Artist Hiro Yuji Kitazumi tried to answer that question. The Moldiver series was his first conception to celluloid. His character designs populate the series from the later Gundam epics to Acer 1 and Genesis Survivor Gareth. Hiroyuki Kitazumi has been working at the heart of the anime industry for years and has been a part of some of the favorite series of NekoCon attendees. Working for the AIC production house as a director and character designer, Kitazumi's latest designs are part of the new Virgin Fleet, a show about an all-female military force with amazing powers, if they remain virgins. Kitazumi, who has been attending US conventions since Anime East in 1995, said he's pleased to see his old shows getting so much attention in America. Old can mean more than a few months old in Japan, where styles fall and rise in rapid succession and producers look for their next hit, while artists try to turn out the best shows as possible. Character designs start inside Kitazumi's head, translated to rough sketches that must be cleared by the producer, director, and the all important series sponsors. A reading of the story generates the initial idea, tempered by the nature of the tale. A comical character won't look the same as a person who will star in a tragedy, he said. Sometimes the characters do look like real people. Kitazumi said that machine gals from Moldiver were based on and named after movie starlets of that era. Without that question about what about that question about the blue and green anime hair? Kitazumi admitted that the old joke among US anime fans has some truth to it. To some, the characters are hard to tell apart except for their hair color, especially the females. So they have to widely so they have widely colored tresses. Kitazumi thinks that the hair color slid out of control with the debut of the pink-haired magical princess Miki Momo, to which the interpreter Jan Scott Fraser quipped, "There you have it, a direct link between Minky Momo and Dennis Rodman." How do cosplayers make those elaborate costumes? Two people at NekoCon told their stories. Now there's something you don't see every day unless you live at anime conventions. The colorful costumes worn at events such as NekoCon attract many to fans. They lead to people to spend weeks working on their costumes. And it's not just for the Saturday night costume contest. Amy Frega, NekoCon's cosplay coordinator, made her costume even though she couldn't participate in the contest. Oh, look, it has a squirrel, and I know that squirrel plush. It's a Beanie Baby. I have that same Beanie Baby squirrel. Close up of the squirrel. Frega's character is a slightly mad female writer from Child's Toy who always wears elaborate hats featuring squirrels. That's why she's one of my favorite characters. The cityscape on the hat was made from foam blocks, hollowed to make room for the lights Frega found at a craft store. A collection of AA cell batteries underneath the hat rim powers the lights. The contraption is held together with duct tape painted black. After seeing the Unico anime, Talish Axelrod liked the Toby character so much that he wanted to make a costume. The fabric is $50 off felt from Walmart and isn't as warm as it looks. Axelrod chose felt because it matched the gentle Osamu Tezuka characters. The hair is Axelrod staying in place after applications of several layers of hairspray. Unless you can buy an art book or a copy of New Type with detailed character designs, it's hard to tell to make your costume. This Nadia costumer said that she took the design by carefully studying a cover illustration from a tape box. Others said that they take their tape and view their character scenes over and over until they figure out how to create the costume. And remember, this is like the days of VHS tapes. DVDs weren't ubiquitous back then, and you couldn't take your phone or like a digital camera and place it right in front of the TV. You had to pause. And you kind of had to like just take it from there. Most of this costume was custom made, especially the vest and wrap that extends from the waist to cover to the lower legs. Those pieces were covered in gold tone trim hand applied by the costumer, but the slacks are ordinary pants of the correct color. The blouse is a modified dress shirt changed to give the effect of a billowing around the shoulders. And the boots not visible in this shot came from a military surplus store, but they were a size too small, forcing the costumer to slip them so he wouldn't cut off the circulation at his feet. Is he Arsène Lupin III or is he Rob Lance? We may be able to discover the answer. Rob Lance's life was changed around the time when the first Katsucon in 1995, when he saw Lupin the Third movie and thought it would be a great idea to create a costume for the new event in Virginia Beach. Little did Lance know that he would spend much of the next 4 years dressing up as a stylish thief, Arsène Lupin III, at conventions around the East Coast, including NekoCon. Lance recalled that he worked for 2 weeks to find his Lupin III outfit, starting with the lime green jacket, $5 at the Salvation Army surplus store, that was followed by a yellow tie, Goodwill store, price undisclosed. Things got strange when Lance borrowed a friend's Darth Vader mask, took one of his own motorcycling leather jackets and a black sheet from his bed, don't ask, and created a Vader costume. At the Katsucon cosplay contest, Lance started his skit as Vader and then removed the outfit to show that Vader was Lupin III in disguise. Oh my god, I love that. And brought down the house. Since then, Lance has graduated to a red jacket shown at the NekoCon karaoke contest. Lance's friends told him he looked like Lupin. Judge for yourself by viewing this doll. Carefully growing his sideburns, Lance took up the role. That led to more Lupin cosplay for Lance, including stints as the MCs at NekoCon and Katsucon in 1998. When he's not at conventions, Lance watches strange anime such as Blazing Transfer Student. What do American voice actors and producers really think about their work on Japanese films? I love this guy's pose right here. It's like maniacal laugh. What do you want? Would you want to be the bad guy, the one everyone loves to hate? Voice actor Tristan McAvery said yes, which might explain why he's usually the villain in the ADV's film anime dubs. It's fun to explore an evil character because you never know where you're going, said McAvery at NekoCon Saturday panel. He worries about voice actors who turn out flat performance because they view a voice job just as another line on a resume. You're not an office team. In this business, you do one project at a time, and it better be the best project, he said. Michael Crusher Joe Brady defends his profession against those actors who are just looking for a paycheck. It takes a special kind of actor for anime dubbing, he said. Someone who can bring too much intensity to a part. You want performers who can go beyond a certain point, said Brady. It's easier to rein them in than push them to a higher level. Matt Greenfield of ADV Films seems to spend time either at anime cons or recording studios handling dub production. He's especially pleased with the new Ruin and Explorers series because everyone has a story arc and they're always changing, which is amazing in a 4-episode anime. Greenfield shared some of his crazy stories from dubbing sessions, especially among the actors who played Kate and Yuri in Dirty Pair Flash. ADV Films keeps props in the recording booths to help the actors get into spirit of their roles. And Sue Ulu and Kim Sevier were running around screaming and yelling at each other with prop guns, never looking at each other, but looking at the screen. Anime voice actors provide a stirring rendition of their role and incidentals such as grunts and groans that their characters generate during the energetic scenes. Toshifumi Yoshida of Viz Communications, who produces some of the company's videos, told the story of an actor who gave brilliant performances until it was time for him to make an incidental noise for a fight scene. His audition was great, but he couldn't fight, Yoshida said. Can you make a small comics company and survive in a market dominated by 2 behemoths? Ask these 2. Okay, this should be interesting. Radio Comics, a small press publisher from Texas, has a fascinating range of manga-inspired creator-owned titles on the American comics market. Now the company is increasing its manga output. After starting with American titles dropped by Antarctic Press, Ellen Winkler, Leff, and Pat Duke are adding Japanese titles, such as Mechanical Man Blues by artist Tsukasa Kotobuki, the character designer for Saber Marionette J, and Battle Arena Toshinden. Other Japanese titles could follow, along with more manga art for Radio Comics anthology titles. Why? Winkler said a growing number of Japanese artists want their work published in the US. They can go and tell their friends and show off their books in English. It's like an American book being published in Japan, she said. Some manga artists are still worry about the impact of their work flipping, mirroring the pages from left to right to reflect the difference reading direction of Japanese and English. Yeah, who remembers that? I still have like a lot of the Sailor Moon manga that was flipped when it was released through Mixzine, aka Tokyo Pop back in the day. Duke said that more Japanese artists are becoming accustomed to the changes that their art needs for translation. A lot of time you use brute force and you have to redraw the whole panel and recreate the background, he said. Another difficulty, Japanese characters and word balloons are printed vertically, while English text is printed horizontally. Then there's the question of handling adult titles, which certain important lines in the drawing are left out to satisfy the Japanese censors. American editors will have to draw those lines back in, but Duke noted they'll often get uncensored originals from Japan. And Ramses here says there was a time where they had two editions of the book, one traditional for English speakers and untouched Japanese. All right, we're into our last section of NekoCon. The author takes a moment to look back at the new convention at the old location. Author's notes. Notes typed on the laptop in the Hampton, Virginia airport, waiting for a flight to Pittsburgh. The author apologized for not being able to attend all 3 days of NekoCon. A previous commitment to work back in the Midwest on Sunday led to an early departure from the new convention. In the interest for full disclosure, the author made a major mistake and wasted a considerable time and effort leaving NekoCon early. After catching 2 planes on Sunday morning and driving 45 minutes, the author arrived at the track in Ohio, only to find the gates locked and the track empty. The race had been postponed for 3 weeks while the author was en route to Ohio. Yikes. After attending big conventions during the summer, NekoCon was a different experience. NekoCon was not a big convention. 587 people were on hand for the 3 days of the convention. One dealer said he was disappointed, and concierge Larry Drew said he wished there had been another 100 people on hand. However, he wished there had been another 100. However, Drews also said that the turnout wasn't much less than he expected for the first-time event. He also had hope for more volunteers to help run the next event to be held at the same hotel, November 5th through 7th, 1999. It was the smallest con of the season. However, voice actor and director Tristan McAvery told a story of DEF CON in Texas, which he said drew fewer than 100 people. And even though the Holiday Inn executive has 2 pools, none of the NekoCon guests of honor ended up taking a swim while fully clothed. Several guests at September's Anime Iowa jumped into a pool with all their clothes on. Nostalgia for the recently departed to the Washington, D.C. area, Katsucon led to the creation of NekoCon. Even the Holiday Inn executive in Virginia Beach wanted another event, Drew said, and the deal was made. Despite Katsucon's move, no one was upset with that con. Katsucon flyers were seen at NekoCon, and the radios were used by con staff had Katsucon labels on them. NekoCon drew mostly hardcore convention fans and guests, people who hit nearly every anime con in the country. The numbers may have been small, but that was also may have contributed to the laid-back, relaxed atmosphere, so laid back that a couple of Friday panels seemed to vanish. With no crowds to battle, people took their time to enjoy the event. Small groups were the pattern of the weekend. Outside the costume contest, the largest crowd seemed to gather around Fred Perry's table in the Artist Alley. As usual, Perry seemed never to leave the table on Saturday. This author's website seems to have gotten a reputation as a cosplay page. The costumers were the highlight of the new convention. It looked as if NekoCon had a higher proportion of cosplayers to attendees than any of the conventions visited in the last 12 months. At least 3 groups of cosplayers brought 2 or 3 different costumes for the weekend. There were 2 Lums, 2 Ayekas, one of the best Nadia's ever seen, from a novice, and a nearly complete Tenchi Muyo and Neon Genesis Evangelion cast. The Ava group had been looking for a Masato by email, but couldn't find one. Nearly matching the sights of the costumers and NekoCon were the views from the air of an aircraft carrier and an Iowa-class battleship in Newport, Virginia Harbor. Oh, and by the way, on that Who Killed Steve Bennett contest, Chad Fanboy Dietrichs was found to be the murderer. And that wraps it up for NekoCon. And looks like we got a comment from Ramses in the chat. 500, damn. I wish I could organize something that gets 500 people. And as an added bonus, because we do have some time this evening, let's look at the old NekoCon website, shall we? So head here for the official NekoCon website. Okay, welcome to the NekoCon Flash website. Please check back for updates on NekoCon 5. If you would like your site linked with this one, contact the webmaster. Okay, what's your email? Can we? Okay, looks like we can't anymore. Wow, updates! The following has been updated. Video contest, added anime music video contest winners for NekoCon Flash. Updated November 10, 2001. Cosplay, added cosplay winners for NekoCon Flash. Updated November 12, 2001. Cool links. So, it's such an early 2000s web thing. Not yet in the links. A Fansview NekoCon Flash report. Alright, NekoCon Flash and contents is page 2000 and 2001. Chibi Neko Entertainment LLC. Please send comments to the site's webmaster. Wonder if we could still click on these. Can we? Video contest. Oh, we can kind of see like what were like the AMV winners for NekoCon Flash, and we'll eventually be covering NekoCon 5. This is looking at like, okay, what were some of the AMV content here? Rawhide, Blues Brothers, Set to Trigun. Oh, I've seen this AMV. Star Trekkin' set to Martian successor Nadeshiko. That's actually a really good one. That's one of my favorites. Magic Carpet Ride set to Bebop. One Step Closer set to Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh my goodness, that is so early 2000s. Like just slapping a Linkin Park song to like angsty boy anime. Let's see, Ramsey's comments. I love the web 1.0-ness of this website. Bless you, Internet Archive. I nearly choked on my drink at Rawhide set to Trigun. Let's see. I'm not going to read all the contest rules here, but yeah. Looks like you can only submit via VHS in SP mode. No beta, 35mm, or IMAX film. Let's see, video should be about 5 minutes or less. For instance, submitting a video set to Beatles' Hey Jude is a bad idea. Besides, Ono already did this in the Ava movie. And this is where you would have to mail it to. You would mail it to some address on Dangerfield Road in Clinton, Maryland. Dangerfield Road. Looking at the comments here. Ah, yes. I'll make my AMV in 70mm IMAX film. Okay, some of these are fairly interesting AMV rules here. Okay, cosplay winners. Take a look at... Can we access? Alright. We're gonna have to use our imaginations for these because, like... I'm pretty sure, again, we'll view these at when we cover Kevin's NekoCon 5 report. Gilbert and Sullivan presents Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. Wait, are they the same people who did the HMS Pinafore? Because that can be pretty cool. Just kind of scrolling through here. I won't get through all of these. The Good, the Bad, and the Blonde. I'm assuming that's Trigun. Just based on the time period. It looks like these are just some of the rules here of the masquerade. No karaoke. Up here, one skit. No costume is still known costume. Nudity on stage is really discouraged. Swordplay on stage. No brandishing of live swords. I also love this that it's the old NekoCon website was hosted on like a server called Eskimo.com. All right, that's it for NekoCon 1998. Um, so glad you can join us this evening. Glad you can spend your Friday evening with us covering NekoCon 1998, the first ever NekoCon. And again, if you like what we do, definitely donate to our Ko-Fi. Any amount supports our channel. It supports what we do in archiving convention history and also taking this on the road, because I actually do panels about this time period of fandom at anime cons and comic cons. Comic cons seem to love us, and I'll be doing a panel presentation on these very topics, fandom of the Y2K, early 2000s, at LA Comic Con on Sunday. So, with that said, thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate having visitors to my virtual cottage here on Twitch. And with that said, definitely support my book, The Fangirl Diaries, published by McFarlane Publishing, due out in January. I would love for you to support my book. It's been a labor of love getting this off the ground. And with that said, again, thank you so much for joining